recording as well. So, firstly, a very good evening to everyone who has joined in. Welcome, Bharat, and thank you so much,
Yeah, thanks.
everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the 47th episode of my career development series, and I'm extremely delighted to be welcoming you on the show because we're going to be talking about something which is very interesting, and I believe everyone wants to really be able to accomplish that is to build and develop products without actually coding, right, or getting into the very core technical aspects of things. So, just before we get started with asking Bharat some questions and knowing more about his journey. And when we go on to getting him answer your questions, I'll just give a brief introduction about him. He started his journey as an engineer in mechanical engineering, and after which he actually kickstarted his career with a leading manufacturing giant in India, even before he graduated, right? And after which he opted for a marketing role since he wanted to learn the process of selling and how the business side of things work. Now, after he got a basic grip on the marketing side of things and handling huge accounts and clients, he extended his role to the product management side of things, and where he was doing very well, getting a good salary. The position was also with a global organization. However, obviously, just like everything seems to be perfect for almost everyone, he felt kind of stuck at a particular point of time and wanted more from what the mundane job actually offered him. And he quit his lucrative job, and then he took all his savings and moved back to his parents' place, and he started afresh. And since then, he has taken this decision to get on this unconventional career path journey, which totally fits with the theme of my talk show. And he approached the a very new field with multiple aspects which were there in his mind, which was building and growing products from scratch. And that's when he decided to start designing them and started learning from different people who he really looked up to and who inspired him. And the main focus was that how do you actually manage products the right way and grow them and scale them in the market. That's when he stumbled upon growth product marketing as a term per se. And currently, he builds products that help him solve the problems people are facing. And that's how both his current ventures, that is the Triad ecosystem, as well as the Idea Kadoon, were born. And he also consistently helps people and job seekers and mentors them for productivity habits. So it's a pleasure having you on my show, Bharat. And thank you so much.
Yeah, pleasure to be here, Daria. Thank you. I'm a big fan of your show too. I've been following you, all the
Yeah.
public show talks and all. It's really good. I mean, thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Glad to know that. So, Bharat, even before I get started with asking you some questions relevant to growth product marketing, which we're going to talk about today, I actually want to know that how did the transitioning actually take place from, as I just mentioned in your introduction, from working in a lead manufacturing firm to then going into a marketing role to then product management and now growth product marketing? How did your inclination actually increase towards this side?
Well, it all started actually when I was actually working. When it started, I was in the marketing role, as I told you. It was really interesting. I mean, as a entry level graduate, I could not ask more because I could travel everywhere. Well, company used to provide me travel and everything, and I used to get to meet all the high end people, high VIPs, and all of my customers. So that was a very good position. But at the end of the day, again, it becomes some mundane thing after some time. So I aspired for new challenges. So once I started looking into it, I found that manufacturing was not something which I was really passionate about. Passion is a very strong word. I would just say that did not interest me much. So I could not see new technologies booming there, or maybe it is there, but I was not able to get a hold of that. That's
Hmm.
when I stumbled onto tech, where there were like many innovative stuffs happening, and all the things which I wanted to learn was actually available on the net. It need not be that I go join some college or get some certification as such, because everything is available on the net. So whatever I want, I can just learn and just directly implement it. That's
Right.
the actually the best advantage of internet, is you can actually just learn. It has just democratized everything, so it is like a level playing field for everyone. If you want something, you can just go get it right away. So that's the main theme of that. Then the initial thing where it started was when I was in my, as I told you, in more the the job which I was in before I took the leap, the job was actually very good. The company was really good. I had a very good mentor, but
Yeah.
something did not feel right. So that's when I started looking into other things. I used to write a lot on Quora and all, but once I started focusing on that, that is when I got to know that okay, if there is something I want to do, I can actually do it if I put my mind into it. So I started looking into all the other things which I could do. So finally, when I narrowed down on something like okay, this is something I have a small interest on, so I can go explore this. If not this, maybe I'll see something else. So 2020 I gave a buffer that okay, 2020 I'll just explore the things, let's see what happens. So that was the whole plan. So 2020, that's what I did. I just like I saw something, I liked it, I took a course on it, and I started implementing that. So 2020 was like a gap year. 2021 I'm trying to get all together and see how it goes. That's how I came to growth product marketing now.
Perfect. So, do you mind breaking down growth product marketing in simple terms for the audience here? What it
Oh
is
yeah,
actually?
sure. I mean, it's actually a very upcoming field, and the best part is it is still not defined yet. The thing
Yeah.
is, nobody has defined what this is exactly. But
Hmm.
it is like all the innovative software tech giants like Airbnb, Square, Twilio. Those are the people who are actually introducing this growth product marketing. The thing is, it is very near to product management per se.
Hmm.
But instead of the focus is different. Project managers are someone who will focus on the product, so their entire focus will be on product, building it, and their customer centric approach for everything, they'll have that.
Right.
But growth project management is similar to that, but the thing is you will be responsible for a business thing, business objective per se. It is like a project manager but for company business side. So you'll whether you want, for example, let's say if you have a very good product now, but you will need to increase the acquisition, or you
Hmm.
want to increase the retention, maybe the revenue. So growth product manager is bought, and he's told that this is your project now, so you will do it, you have to do it. So what the growth product manager does is he'll take that, and he, instead of just going by the approach, he'll just take the scientist's way per se. I mean, that's what I'm telling, that's not the right word. The thing is he'll see that okay, the approach will have three to four outputs. So what he'll see is okay, I'll try this, if this is not working, I'll go for next. So
Hmm.
just seeing the data and seeing whichever is working, he'll go full on that.
Got it.
This is very similar to growth marketing per se, but this is a focus thing, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. And okay, that brings
Yeah,
me
that's
to asking you that
yeah.
if this is what growth product marketing is or whatever it's going to be called that, um, there's a lot of hype about these no code, low code platforms like Canva or also Figma and Wix,
Webflow.
Wix,
Yeah.
Webflow, right? Where you don't really
Yeah.
have to have like a
Yeah.
coding knowledge, but you just need to have a basic
Yeah.
design sense and drop down the elements and get things done. So,
Exactly.
what is your take on it? And if you could also define what no code, low code is?
Yeah, sure. I mean, see, there is a very high venture capitalist guy called Naval Ravikant. I follow him. He tells that building and selling, when combined, will become a superpower in this coming century or the coming decade at least. The people who are able to both build and sell any product, so that will be a superpower. So, for example, and what even Bill Gates has said is, it is easy to teach the coders marketing than to teach marketers coding. So people like us will be like, okay, we'll have what we did not have any choice if he's telling that way. But what no code or low code has done, it has again leveled the field for us. What no code or low code does is it'll help you should just have a product in your mind. You need not even learn any code. Like whatever I have built like 3 products and 2 products are on the way. Everything is I actually I do not know any coding at all, and I'm basically a mechanical engineer. But the thing is, I
Yeah.
was able to just go into it, learn from it, and even the platforms are very user friendly and they have their own tutorials. So it will not even take more than an hour. So it is just drag and drop. That's it. Very similar to Canva. So if you know what to do, how to do it, you can easily do it. It is just a matter of execution and will at the end of the day. Low code is nothing but that's what I explained now was no code. I mean, you
Mm.
need not learn any coding or anything per se. You just need to start building. If you have an idea, you just start building, and then you start selling it. Selling as in like, I mean, digital in the digital realm, as you know, it is a bit different than traditional selling. Growth product marketing per se, it is only, I mean, now at least for now, it is focused on product led growth. I mean, product led growth also I'll explain. Product led growth are the companies or startups which let their products do the marketing for them. For
Right.
example, this Zoom is also a product led growth company.
Yeah.
The thing is, they'll not have a separate, I mean, dedicated sales team or something like that. So what is the thing is, you'll have to just go to the product. They'll have a freemium model or a free trial basis. So they'll give you the services and onboarding so well that you'll be tempted to convert into like a premium service, or you'll start using it. So the
Right.
product is doing the marketing for them. It's
Hmm.
a quality product. So that is product led growth.
Okay.
The product led growth companies are currently are the ones which are actually focusing on growth product marketing. And this is, I mean, the no code thing is what I was about to tell you. Low code is nothing but very as in like how would I put it, like, you'll know the very basic concepts of it. You cannot like sit and code a complete program or something like that, but you just need to have some basic knowledge. That's it.
Okay. Got
That's
it.
the major difference.
Great. So I'm sure that would have given the audience also some basic clarity on it, because I'm sure probably not many would be knowing about it. Um, that so let's also get on to the aspect of understanding that, since we do have a lot of freshers who have joined us in, and some working professionals as well, right? So if someone right out of college wants to probably get into the field of building products and designing products in the no code field, or get into growth product marketing, Bharat, what are the avenues and the options currently in the market today, and what roadmap can they follow to do the same?
Yeah, this is not only for growth product marketing per se. What I would always suggest all the students or whoever is in my position is to build a personal growth, personal brand, because personal brand is your resume now.
Yeah.
So I mean, resumes, it might work, but as far as I have seen, that is just your luck, because you don't know who's seeing. There is a lot of ATS system on the way. So what anyone can do is start building a personal brand on any platform which you can actually start from, either LinkedIn, or maybe if you're good at writing, Medium and Quora, or if you are good at video, of course YouTube, or maybe podcasting. So you can start with your thing and just build a product around it. You need not know anything per se. You can just start directly go talking to people, like whatever you are doing. I mean, you can just ask and talk to people. So this is the content. Whatever we're doing is currently content.
Yeah.
So you can actually start that. If you have a library of content, like you told, you have 47 things, so that's the library of content. So once you have that, you're actually you're building something on your own. That is also kind of a thing. So you will be thought as a thought leader. So you'll always have an advantage when you are piled up against other resumes, because you'll have a normal following. You're also doing something proactively, so that shows that you go get things done. So that you will have a major advantage of that. So first is, I'll always tell everyone, not only like college students or anyone, even if you're 40, that's not too late. It's better if you're like too late, because you'll know a lot of stuff which you can actually share with people like us.
Yeah.
So that is, first is personal brand. Second is, I am always a very firm believer of show don't tell. So if at all you're really interested in something, just go talk to people. Or maybe, if I mean, I'll usually focus on startups. So if your startup is there, if at all there is some company which you want to join or which you are really interested in, if it's a smaller or a small company, or if a startup, that is better, is what always I feel, if you are in the beginning of your career, because you'll get to wear a lot of hats, you'll get to learn a lot, and you'll be encouraged to do mistakes, because you learn a lot that way fast. There are no set procedures, set uh, standards per se. You'll have to set them, so you'll
Yeah.
get a lot of freedom. So the way to do it is, you can actually, if you are like, okay, if you want to do it, you can just go talk to some people on the startup or companies. Some people on, you can easily connect to them on LinkedIn, talk to them, understand what the problem is. And I mean, as far as I know, there are a lot of solutions per se on the internet. If at all you don't know what the solution for that is, you just research. You'll be able to get that. If you don't get it also, if you make a list of things which might work and present to them, they'll like someone actually taking initiative and doing something. So
Right.
you'll have a better chance against them.
True.
And if it's a big company, what you can do is, if you are talking to someone from finance, they'll know what's happening. They'll not know what's happening in marketing. So in big company, what you need to do is just go talk to someone senior in marketing, understand them. Like, don't ask them like what the problem is on, like understand humbly, like ask them how did you get there. Like if you ask them like what is happening, and all people always like to talk about themselves, so you'll get to learn their journey. At the same time, you'll also learn what the opportunities are, what the company is going through. So what is their focus now? So So based on that, you can also make some small project or something based on that, which can actually help their goal and provide it to them. If it's a big guy or something whom you connected, he'll be again, your results are showing there. So he'll be more than happy to give you an interview. Once you get an interview, it is usually what, as far as I've seen, most of the people are above 80 or 85%. Once they get an interview, they'll easily able to be cracked. Because the thing is, the once you are going like this by showing what you're actually doing, you'll be the one steering the interview, because all the questions will be based on your project. So you will
Yeah.
know your project better than him. So that'll give an advantage based on that. Even that's the same thing for growth product marketing as such. If you just see something, you need not wait for the job openings to open. You just go, like, approach some startup. You see which are like, start with the companies which you want to go, like have some three, start with three, then see, like, just research about them. You'll know what is their like what the path they're taking, or what is the role they're trying to get into this one now and all. So based on that, you'll get to know vaguely what are the challenges they're facing. If you don't know, you can easily contact them, because startup founders are very receptive. They want people, so they are very, like,
Yeah.
eager.
Yeah.
So if you are somehow getting them to talk, you'll get to know what's happening. You can directly contact them, talk to them, know they're this one, and never ask for job directly. Just show them. If there is an opening, they'll directly call you for an interview. If not, at least you will be in their mind. So whenever there is an opening, you'll be the first guy to pop up. That's also,
Right.
you're building a network of mentors. At the same time, you're also showing that you know something. You're a proactive guy. Even if it's wrong, they'll point out, no, this will not work because this is the thing. So you gain something there. There is nothing to lose here per se. This is
Yeah.
I mean, I feel this is always better than just shooting resumes or cover letters, because that's, again, it's a black hole. You don't know where it's going. You don't even
True.
know what's happening.
True. True. I think it's a very the scenario now is even the more difficult because of the ATS is coming in, and you don't even know
Yeah,
if the HR is going to even look at your resume. So yeah,
exactly.
I totally agree with you, and I feel that another thing that you pointed out with respect to actually building a personal brand is very important today in order to actually stand out from the thousands of other applicants, right? Because
True.
almost every other candidate has got the same academic qualifications, same technical capabilities. So how will you stand
Yeah,
out? Yeah, right.
exactly. Yeah.
So that brings me to asking you one last question from my side before we
Yeah, sure,
actually
sure.
move ahead to taking up questions from the audience. So I'd just like to remind everybody that you can feel free to drop in any question related to probably product management or growth marketing or products or anything that's coming to your mind for Bharat. So yeah, Bharat, what I also wanted to know was that I'm sure that every company will look for a certain basic skill set or requirements, right, when they're hiring people for this role. So what do you think are the
Yeah.
basic skills which recruiters look for when hiring in the growth product marketing or even in the product marketing field?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, there are mainly three things which are, I feel, is very core for this. One is, you should have a very curious and scientific mind, because, as I told you, because there'll be a lot of unexpected problems. You'll have to see it in a very creative way. You'll have to see how else you can tackle. Hello.
Just give me a minute, Bharat. I'm facing some
Yeah,
internet
sure,
issue.
sure.
You please continue. Just continue.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The thing is, see, one is that you need to have a very curious mind. That is, you need to take a scientific approach here. Once you have a scientific approach, you will be seeing everything as an experiment. Because if you are trying something out, if it's not working, okay, you will see the data. Then one is not working, and you'll move on to the next. One is, first is that. Second is to be a very good diplomat and a communicator, because you are handling a lot of other teams. You are collaborating with them. You are doing them because you are trying to get extra thing. You'll not have your own team, at least in the beginning. So you need to borrow some engineers from other team. You need to have a lot of time with product manager, because he have other things, and there is a lot of actually, I mean, ideally it shouldn't happen, but the thing is, what will happen is, product manager will always have a long term. You will always be looking at the product. You will always looking at the customer with his in his mind. That will be his main focus. But at the same time, you will need immediate results. So you'll be focused on the business. So there'll be a clash of outcomes and the processes which you follow, the standards which you need. At the same time, you cannot just have a fight and move out of it. You need to actually see how you can manage that, how you diplomatically communicate properly and get everybody in the same team so that things happen. Second is that. The third is, as I told, communication is really important. The final one which I lead is analysis, data analysis. That is nothing but the same thing which you are taking, all the things which whatever you are taking, the data, you're utilizing that, and then you're moving past that. So those are the four things. I mean, if you want, I can repeat that again. I think I
No,
lost
I
you, I
think
guess.
no, no, no. I did. I think it
Yeah,
was as long as the audience could hear it is great. I had a bit of a fluctuation, so it's okay. Maybe
sure.
if you could just type in the 4 steps here, even for them to probably refer to later, just the
Yeah, sure.
4 skills. Yeah. Uh, so I'll just also, if you want to probably unmute yourself and ask a question to Bharat directly, feel free to do that as well. I have no issues, as you all know. You can always ask your questions directly as well, or drop them in the chat box. Um, we have the first question here from Swaroop. Um, so he's asking you that how can growth marketing be implemented?
As in, can you be a bit specific, Swaroop?
Yeah, if you could probably just elaborate a bit more on what you're actually exactly asking.
Yeah. So, in terms of like awareness, activation, or revenue, or in terms of acquisitions, also, how can we implement growth marketing into it?
Oh yeah, I mean that's the main thing actually. As you see, growth product marketing, they'll have a certain set that either you'll have to actually focus on activation or acquisition or this retention or revenue and all that. Growth marketing will be actually responsible for the complete funnel, but growth product manager will be focused on only one thing. He'll have just it is somewhat like project manager because he'll be focusing on one thing. And coming to your thing, like if he is like focusing on acquisition, again that's the same, top of the funnel, bottom funnel, middle of the funnel, like what it is based on the product. Like if you want to acquire more customers, you'll need to go big on content marketing. And I mean, I'll not suggest paid ads, but yeah, if at all the company has some revenue, can go for paid ads also. So the thing is, growth marketing will be just focusing on the status quo. That is, they'll be looking to just grow, like they'll be looking for that hockey stick growth. So that will be their main focus. But if you're a growth product marketer, your focus will be, for example, based on the project you have in hand. For example, as you told, if you have acquisition now, if acquisition is your, for example, acquisition is your project, what you'll need to do is you have to see the data. As I told you, that you have to first see the data and see what's working, what's not working. So you will play the role of a scientist. So that's your job actually. You'll have to see what is working, what's not working. So what is working? If growth marketing has not yet actually gone full on that, go, I mean, turn it up a notch and go full on that. If not, if they've already done that, even then you'll have to grow more on that. Then you'll need to just start seeing the other things which is actually working, which is not working, trim the things which are not working, and again experiment 3 to 4, take this one 3 to 4 solutions for that, start experimenting with that. That's it. So that's the main
Okay.
job actually. So what you do is you see what's not working, see why it is not working, or if it's working, why it is working, and then you can actually implement it on scale, and then go full on that. That's it. So once you achieve the result, so okay, I think it is better if I give some case study. For example, what I can do is I'll take an example of, I think Airbnb is a better example because everybody knows that. So what Airbnb, for people who don't know that, how Airbnb growth hack is a bad word actually, but the thing is how they grew was they utilized the Craigslist housing ads. What they used to do was, whenever somebody posts an ad on Craigslist, they'll take that. They built a small tool, something which takes that ad and puts it in their site. So what happened is, even without users, they used to get the Airbnb site used to get a lot of inquiries and also the things which they need. So that is part of things which they knew that it worked. So if at all we are in Airbnb right now, so we know it's working. So what we need to do is we'll need to see what else we can do, how else we can focus on that, how else we can improve that. What actually helped them, that is what they did. What actually helped them was, there was actually a conference, but all the hotels were booked. So what they did was, they took all the I mean, whatever they had and whoever contacts they had, they put it everything on the site. Because it's always better, because people, if the thing is, they don't have any other option. Because if there is no place to stay, you're not attending the conference. So what you will do is, instead of not attending the conference, you can come here. This is cheaper. You will feel more connected to the community, because you're like, it is like a dom. So that is how they
Yeah.
market it. It is like a dom. You will be able to focus more on this and then move ahead. That's it. So the thing is, you'll need to see where it is working, where it is not working. So did I get your question, or you need
Yes, yes, I
another? Yeah,
no, no, I got it. Yeah, thank you.
yeah. Thanks. Sure, man. Yeah.
Great. I think that example was very apt because Airbnb is actually the model, the way they have actually grown their customer base, right? the database has also been through very unconventional ways that they followed. Um,
Yeah.
so that was great. Just one thing which I have from my side also, Bharat, that is there any basic difference, or is digital marketing in any way interconnected or related or plays a role in growth product marketing?
See, I mean, yeah. Actually, the thing is, growth product marketing is nothing but it is an infusion of product and marketing put together. So the
Yeah.
what happens is when growth hacking began, everything you started calling growth hacking. But what happened finally was it became growth marketing.
Hmm.
Then what happened now? Digital marketing main realm, growth is part of it. So it
Right.
is like, if you are in digital marketing, growth is a part of it. It is like you're expected to follow that.
Right.
So that is what will happen even in growth product marketing is now what is happening is it's very new. So maybe for the next 3 to 5 years maximum, there will be a separate thing called it will grow, like called growth product marketing. But
Hmm.
initially what I feel is it will merge into product management as a role itself, because it will be role of product manager to even look after the growth of the product. The
Okay.
main thing is the main thing you'll have to see, the main difference I see is the growth digital marketing or growth marketing is they'll be always focused on the growth of the product or sales, retention, and complete funnel. But
Okay.
as a growth product marketer, you'll be focused on one project at a time. That's it. So that is your thing.
Okay. Perfect. Thing which I also wanted to know, Bharat, was that when you talk about growth product marketing as such, do you really feel that how easy is it to transition into the field? Let's say if I talk about it from a perspective of moving from a marketing or a business development job or from a product management job, I still understand it'll be fairly easy. Like you said, they're very interconnected. But let's say someone who is working as a business analyst or someone in the finance field, if they want to probably transition to the growth marketing or product marketing field, how easy is it?
Oh, the thing is, as I told you, it is better if you're from the other field because you'll have an outsider advantage. Because what if
Okay.
it, for example, if you're a product manager, you'll be set in some ways where you'll be thinking the same way, because that is what everybody is doing. So
Hmm.
if you're from like if you're going from, for example, as you said, business analyst, you'll have certain strengths or skills which other PMs will not have. That you can actually utilize that to your advantage. You'll have a different perspective. You'll have a different view, because whatever PMs, or because you'll already have PMs in your team who will be supporting you, they'll be there to tell you or tell their views. Your outsider perspective will actually help you out a lot, because you'll be coming up with more creative ways to tackle the problem, how to actually solve this, or how which other ways which we can go where the product managers or any other people would have not thought about that. So you'll have an
Right.
advantage in that.
Great. Perfect. So I'll give another minute for the audience to, in case you have any questions, do let us know. If not, then I would obviously not want to eat up on a lot of time of Bharat's also and of the audiences. But if you have any questions, either unmute yourself or drop them in the chat box so that Bharat can answer them for you. I believe we have covered a lot of aspects, but if there's anything personal to you that you would want Bharat to answer, then please feel free to do so. I think we'll wait for a minute probably. Swaroop is also asking you, are there any courses available for growth marketing?
Yeah, there are actually many courses on Udemy and Coursera and all. Udemy, I would suggest you can go for, don't go for course directly. You can always get that, because again, that will be more like a college thing. You'll have some curriculum, you'll just go through that. What's better is just learn some basics from there are a lot of blogs there. If you want, I'll just go through some which are I have, and I will follow it to Dairya.
Yeah,
Maybe she can give that in the show notes, I guess.
sure, sure.
So the thing is, you just go through that, understand the basics, and as I told you, you'll have an outsider perspective, because if you take a course or something, what will happen is you'll start thinking in that same way. So we don't want that. So just learn the basics, for and then go out in your own way. Initially, there'll be some resistance, you might fail, but that's fine. That's part of the process. And since it's growth product marketing, you are supposed to fail, because that's how you'll know. So it's better. The more failure you have, the more data points you'll get. So that's far better. At the same time, you can easily put that as a case study, and also that will become your personal brand. In your case, like content, like case studies.
Okay.
Right, I have also,
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
also probably after the session, what you can do is, Bharat, you can share the links with me via mail, and I will
Yeah,
share
yeah,
it
sure.
to all of them in the group. I mean, the groups, they
Yes,
must have
yes.
joined the groups if they filled the form. So I'll drop it in the career development series group so that you guys can refer to it. Also, I believe that on LinkedIn as well, you've been creating some series of content, if I'm not wrong, every day based on
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
concepts, right?
That is
and
mainly for productivity, actually. Yeah.
yeah, right. So you're giving out some productivity hacks every day, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would highly recommend you to also follow him on LinkedIn. Do get connected with Bharat, and in case there are any specific questions or you want to personally connect with him and get some doubts cleared, and they weren't cleared here in the show, although I tried to take up
Yes. Yes.
every question possible, feel free to connect with Bharat. You can look him up by his username on LinkedIn and connect with him. And other than that, I believe that there are no further questions, Bharat. And I think you've pretty much broken it down very well for them. And I'm sure it's been an
Yeah.
insightful session. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on my show. And thanks everybody for being such a lovely audience.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Teja. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you. I wish everyone a very great week ahead. And thank you, everyone, again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye then.
Good night.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Good night. Yeah.